If you want to walk on water, you have to get out of the boat. Written and read by Brother Jerry Valenti. It's the middle of the night and the disciples of Jesus are on a ship being tossed by high waves. They're frightened to see a figure walking across the dark waters until they realize that it's Jesus saying, "Be of good cheer, it is I, be not afraid." At this point, Peter boldly calls out, "Lord, if it be thou, bid me come unto thee on the water." And Jesus tells him to do so. All eyes are likely on Peter at this moment as he slips over to the side of the boat and steps onto the surface of the water. Sure enough, the water supports his weight and he's able to walk toward Jesus. How did this happen? Can anybody do it? Well, before you go jumping overboard from a cruise ship in the middle of the ocean, consider the two key parts of the story leading up to this miraculous event. 1. Jesus called Peter to walk on the water. And 2. Peter did what Jesus told him to do, even though it meant putting himself at great risk by getting out of the boat in the midst of high waves. If you want to have the Lord working through you to accomplish great things today, the same two general ingredients are necessary. The Lord has to call you to do something, and then you have to do it, even if it takes you out of your comfort zone. He calls you to walk on the water, and then you get out of the boat. Being called to walk on water. Quite often this can be the more challenging of the two ingredients, discerning when the Lord is actually calling you to do something. Unlike with Peter above, Jesus is not physically present today, speaking in a voice that can be heard by human ears. So how can we know if it's actually the Lord's prompting rather than our own desire to do something miraculous? The only way to know is to learn how to recognize the voice of the Lord in your life. If you've had a long-term relationship with the Lord, you hopefully know how to recognize His voice already. Perhaps He does speak to you in an audible voice. For most people, though, He speaks through the Holy Spirit in the form of thoughts or feelings. If you're just starting out trying to learn how the Lord speaks to you, it's best to go with trial and error until you know which thoughts or feelings are from Him. Start with small things. If the Lord brings someone to your mind to pray for them, do so, and then follow up with the person to see if there was a need. If so, then you're on the right track. If not, pray about it, ask the Lord to make His voice clearer to you, and then try again the next time you feel like He's speaking to you. Eventually, you'll learn to recognize His voice. Getting out of the boat. Okay, so you've taken the time to learn how to recognize when the Lord is speaking to you. Now, the obvious next step is to do what He's telling you to do. As Nephi said when he was told to obtain the brass plates, "I will go and do the things which the Lord hath commanded. For I know that the Lord giveth no commandments unto the children of men, save He shall prepare a way for them, that they may accomplish the thing which He commandeth them." 1 Nephi 3:7. If you're sure that a message is from the Lord, you don't have to be afraid of failure or embarrassment. You can move forward with confidence, knowing that He will make a way for the mission to be successful. If He said you're going to be walking on the water, you just need to get out of the boat and put yourself in the Lord's hands. Okay, so you've started out and you're making your way through whatever it is that the Lord has called you to do. Along the way, you may experience some feelings of doubt that you can do this, whether from your own fears or even from others questioning whether you can do it. Peter experienced this when he looked away from Jesus to the high winds and became afraid, resulting in him sinking in the sea. However, even as Peter was sinking, he called out to the Lord, and Jesus was right there to lift him up. You can do the same. If the Lord has called you to do something, He is there with you, so be quick to call upon His name and ask for His help in accomplishing whatever it is that He has called you to do. He will not let you sink. He'll pick you up and carry you through. So, make yourself available to be used by the Lord for whatever He wants to use you for. He may use you for something great or something small. But don't automatically limit your usefulness to just the small things. Somebody has to do the great things. Why not you? With the Lord helping you, all things are possible. So, if you hear the voice of the Lord calling you, put aside your fears and concerns and doubts, get out of the boat of your comfort zone, step out on faith, and place yourself in the hands of the Lord. You may well find yourself walking on the water.